Good morning students. Welcome to your English language class. Our topic for today's video is how to solve a comprehension. After watching this video, you will be able to identify the main points of the text, understand the meanings of unfamiliar terms, retrieve relevant information from the text, identify and understand the main parts of the text, analyze and interpret the ideas and develop the reading skills. Now students, let us understand why do we have a comprehension in our language paper. A comprehension exercise is set to test the student's understanding of an unseen passage. It is important, therefore, to read the passage in such a manner that its meaning is fully understood. Reading a comprehension passage can be divided into the following stages. Stage 1. Read the passage as a whole to gain an overall understanding. Stage 2. Read through all the questions so that when you reread the passage, it is clear what to look out for. Stage 3. Reread the passage and locate those sections on which the questions are set. Stage 4. Your answer must provide the evidence of your understanding of the content and context. Now open your English language skills book at page number 213, assignment number 1. First of all, we will read the text for an idea and will write word meaning side by side. Read the passage given below and answer the questions that follow. As children, we found the adult imposed ban on eating out during the monsoons most irksome, if not downright unfair. How can we stay away from those irresistible chaats, golgappas and crispy hot samosas and pakoras at street corners? And how can we not play in the rain? Another forbidden player? We grumbled and complained a great deal. And of course, broke the rules whenever we could. Now students, write down the meanings of the difficult words on your book with your pencils. Imposed, forced, irksome, irritating, downright, complete, unfair, unjust, irresistible, attractive or uncontrollable, forbidden, banned, grumbled, speak out against or complained. In this paragraph, the writer recalls the time when he was a child. He speaks on the behalf of the children of his time who found it very irritating when the adult or their parents did not allow them to eat out during the monsoons. He talks about eatables like chaats, golgappas, crispy hot samosas and pakoras at street corner that were very tempting. But children were not allowed to eat this street food. As children, they complained against this decision of the grown-ups and also hints that sometimes they broke the rules whenever they got a chance to break them. Now let us move to the next slide, students. Today, as an adult, I can see the reasons behind those restrictions. During monsoons, the temperature falls and relative humidity increases, which are both conducive to the activation of many bacteria and virus. The shelf life of perishable food or just cooked food decreases because of the moisture which penetrates the food and activates the latent bacteria. Now students, write down the meanings with your pencils. Restriction, limitations, humidity, moisture, conducive, good for, perishable, easily spoilt, penetrates, make a hole in, latent, hidden. Now students, in this paragraph, the writer says that now when he himself is an adult, he can understand why the adults imposed all the restrictions on the children. He says that during monsoon, two things happen. First, temperature falls and second, humidity rises. Both these conditions are suitable for many bacteria and virus to activate. As a result, perishable food or just cooked food gets spoiled because of the moisture which gives rise to the bacteria. Let us move to another slide. Post-monsoon rain, stagnant water pools become fertile breeding grounds for insects which hover around the street food, says Mumbai-based physician Dr. Karuna Ramprasad. And since the exigencies of travel, especially by train and road, mean that one often has to stop and eat on the way, monsoon travel makes one more vulnerable. Now students, write down the meanings. Post-monsoon, after monsoon, stagnant, still, breeding, reproducing, hover, fly, physician, doctor of medicines, exigencies, urgent needs, vulnerable, unsafe. According to Dr. Karuna Ramprasad, who is a Mumbai-based physician, after monsoon rain water gets collected in the pits. This stagnant water becomes a breeding place for many insects. These insects keep flying around the street food, which results in contaminating the food. Normally, when people travel by train or road, they eat street food they find on the way. This street food during monsoon season is highly unsafe for these travelers. Let's move to another slide. Getting caught in the rain may be fun, but going down with cold, cough and flu on the journey is hardly amusing. The influenza virus has a short incubation period, which means you could be spending your holidays in bed very soon. Now write down the meaning, students. Incubation period, time period needed for the process of development. In this paragraph, students, the writer says that getting wet in the rain may be a lot of fun. But during journey, if you get wet in the rain, you can catch cold, cough and flu. And as a result, you can't enjoy your vacations because you will fall ill. Now let's move to another slide. Moreover, colds, coughs and flu are highly contagious. Since you are likely to travel with hundreds of people in close proximity, whether in a cruise, train, plane, car or bus, you will also spread the problem, ruining others' vacations too. Diarrhea also puts others at risk since contamination by feces is a major cause of gastrointestinal disorders. Now students, write down the meanings. Contagious, infectious, in close proximity, near, cruise, journey by a ship, contamination, action of making something impure, feces, bodily waste, that means excrete, gastrointestinal disorders, problems related to stomach. Here the writer says that when we travel by a ship, plane, train, bus or a car, we are accompanied by many people. And if we have the problem like cold and flu, we can spread them because people are sitting very close to us and we will spoil their vacations too. Diarrhea also causes problems related to stomach for other people. Now let us move to another slide. So how can your travel be fun? First, shun street food. This ban also includes wayside cafes and railway platform food. Take along enough dry, homemade food for your journey. If you have to stop and eat on the road, choose a scrupulously clean restaurant. Carry plenty of chips, chocolates, biscuits and homemade dry eatables for emergencies. Normally, we wouldn't recommend these as healthy foods, explains Hyderabad-based gastroenterologist Dr. B. Satyanarayan. but they are much safer options compared to the cooked or raw food available at the average railway platform or wayside restaurant. Now students, write down the meanings. Shun, omit. Wayside, roadside. Scrupulously, in a careful way. In this paragraph, students, writer tells us what kind of food we should take while on a journey. He advises us to keep away from the street food, including food from the roadside cafes and railway platforms. He advises us to carry homemade food or chips, chocolates and biscuits which are not so healthy but better than the street food. If a traveler has to stop and eat on the way, he should carefully choose a clean restaurant. Let us move to another slide. Waterborne diseases are a big risk. Refuse water in a glass given to you anywhere. Stock up on bottled water before the journey. Hoping to buy on the way at a roadside railway platform outlet is not a good idea. Enterprising shop owners at small towns and villages have learned to recycle used mineral water bottles, fill them with tap water and sell them. Food poisoning, diarrhea and typhoid are major risks from contaminated water and food. Now students, write down the meanings of difficult words. Waterborne diseases, problem caused due to microorganisms present in impure water. Outlet, shops. Enterprising, creative or clever. Here, the author advises us to keep clean water bottles with us before the journey begins and refuse to take water given in a glass. He also advises us not to buy water bottles at roadside shops and railway platform shops because many clever shop owners take the already used mineral water bottles and fill them with water of tap and sell them. This contaminated water often causes problems like food poisoning, diarrhea and typhoid. Let us move to another slide. Traveler's diarrhea is a common travel ailment. Besides constant watery stools, it may be accompanied by abdominal cramps, vomiting and nausea. Observe all food-water precautions and carry along an antibiotic you are proven tolerant to. Keep an anti-diarrhea medicine for prompt use before you manage to reach a doctor. Electrolyte solutions are a must carry. Now students, write down the meanings. Ailment, illness, accompanied, followed, nausea, sickness where a person feels like vomiting, precautions, safety measures, prompt, quick, electrolyte solutions, oral rehydration solutions. Here students, the author says that travelers often suffer from diarrhea, abdominal cramps, vomiting and nausea. So a traveler must always carry with him suitable antibiotics, anti-diarrhea medicines and electrolyte solutions to use on the way before reaching a doctor. Let us move to another slide. Given the malaria risk, don't travel to malaria endemic areas. Avoid accommodation with water pools and stay away from areas with such health hazards during sightseeing or shopping. Carry mosquito repellent cream, coils and mosquito nets, especially if you are camping out or traveling to remote areas where the accommodations might not have these luxuries. Wear long-sleeved clothing, cover your legs while trekking or taking walks at your destination. Now students, write down the meanings. Malaria endemic areas, areas where malaria is widespread. Accommodation, a place to live in. Hazard, risk. Mosquito repellent, a substance that deters mosquitoes from approaching. Remote areas, areas which are far away from urban areas. Luxuries, comforts, trekking, journey on foot. In these lines, author continues with his advice. He tells us to avoid going to areas where there are health risks, like malaria-prone areas and areas near water pools. He suggests the travelers to carry mosquito-repellent cream, coil and net, especially during the travel to places where such things are not available. While trekking, he also suggests the travelers to wear long-sleeved clothes and keep the legs covered. Now let us move to another slide. Stay away from cold drinks, ice cubes and the rain, and use raincoats and umbrellas when required. If you still sense the onset of cough or cold, use anti-cough and cold medicines, which should be a part of your medical kit. An effective Ayurvedic remedy for cold and cough is a drink of hot milk or water in which pepper powder or ginger powder has been dissolved. Now students, write down the meanings. Sense, feel. Onset, beginning. Remedy, treatment. Dissolved, to become incorporate into a liquid so as to make a solution. The author advises us to keep away from cold drinks, ice cubes and rain, and use raincoat and umbrella whenever required. He also advises us to always keep anti-cough and cold medicines in our medical kit and drink hot milk or hot water with a little bit pepper powder or ginger powder in it as an Ayurvedic treatment for cold and cough. Now children, we have completed the reading of the passage. Now step 2 is to read back exercises and questions to help us in writing the correct answers when we read the passage for the second time. Let us read the exercises. Exercise A. 3 words from the passage are given below. Give the meanings of each as used in the passage. 1-word answers or short phrases will be accepted. First one is irksome. Second, conducive. Third, vulnerable. Exercise B. Answer the following questions briefly in your own words. Question 1. What was the writer's view as a child on the ban imposed on them on eating outside during monsoon season? Question 2. How is the temperature during monsoon season responsible for the spread of virus? Question 3. Which foods are not recommended by a doctor as healthy foods? Why are they not recommended during the monsoon season? Question 4. How do enterprising shop owners spread waterborne diseases? Question 5. Use the word dissolved, last line, in a sentence of your own such that it has a different meaning from that it carries in the passage. Exercise C. With close reference to the passage and in not more than 50 words, state what precautions should be taken while traveling during the monsoon season. Exercise D. Give the title to your summary in C and state the reason to justify your answer.